Time for a bit of an update on the progress with this 350 Royal Enfield Bullet trials bike that I've been working on lately. Obviously I've got the bottom end of the engine back together now and the gearbox bolted onto it, and it's all bolted back in frame. I fitted the piston and cylinder barrel this morning after checking the piston to bore clearance in the bore, and also the piston ring gaps and everything checked out okay there, so that's all good to go. I timed up the magneto timing, which incidentally is a fixed timing on this because these Lucas SR magnetos usually rely on an auto advance mechanism, which we haven't got here, but a lot of the trials bikes are like that anyway. They've just got a solid drive cog rather than the one with the built-in advance retard, although we've got a type of timing cover that could accept, has room for a gear with an advance retard on it. But anyway, I've just set the timing as it would be for full advance, and that's all ready to go. The oil pump drive worm is good. I'm not going to disturb the timing cover now because I've got it balanced there, but I've had a look at the oil pump drive spindle and checked the teeth on it, and although they look like they're used, they look like they've got a good bit of life left in them still. I've had the oil pump covers off and had a look at the oil pumps, and there's two brand new high capacity type oil pumps in there, but I just wanted to see for myself. What I'm going to do next, I've got a new oil filter ready to go in there. There's all the other bits and pieces. Someone's added a magnet to that one, which isn't a bad idea. And what I'm going to do before I put the timing cover on, I've got the piston set around bottom dead center, so the big end is lower than the level of the center of the crankshaft, the main shaft. And I'm just going to pump some oil in from the oil can through the big end into the bottom end of the engine, although I've already put oil in there before I put the piston on. I tipped some oil down into the mouth of the crankcase, but I'm actually pumping fresh oil through the big end and into the crankcase now, and I can feel it. The resistance against the lever on the can tells me that we're building up a bit of pressure against the big end, but I've got flow going through it, so I know that everything will be nice and oily there. Also, once the timing cover's on, I'll tip some oil in or pump some oil in to the timing chest through this opening here before I put the cover on to get some oil into this area. But another thing I'm going to do, which I like to do at oil and filter change time, I always like to take the timing cover off because I can have a look at the condition of the oil pump drive train and timing gears and so on. But also, when a new filter is fitted, I can do this. I can actually fill up the chamber and the filter with fresh oil ready to go. It's all well and good. I know the manuals say soak the filter in oil, but if you actually fill the chamber, you're ready to go on your first kick after what I've just done by pumping oil through the crankshaft end feed as well. I'd be confident enough just to put this timing cover on once I've got the oil filter cap on and know that I can start the engine, and if it started first kick, that would I'd feel comfortable with that. I've also stuck a new timing cover gasket on with a bit of weld seal onto the engine, and this face I'm going to treat to a light coat of grease, and that'll mean that if ever I or anybody else wants to remove the timing cover to check around in there and change the filter in the manner that I've just described, it shouldn't mean having to ruin the timing cover gasket each and every time. This, I do it on the race bikes, and you can take the timing cover off and put it back on dozens and dozens and dozens of times with no harm done to the gasket. So that's another little tip. We've got oil in there now, so I'm going to put the camera down shortly, put all the other little bits and pieces associated with the filter in there and put the cap on, and I'm going to grease the gasket face, and I'll put the timing cover on the engine, and that'll all be ready to go, that part of it anyway. So that's where we're at the moment.